Let's bring in Fox News contributor Sean Duffy. Sean, great to see you this evening. Let's start with the report there. This counter proposal from the Chinese Communist Party. Essentially, to me, it's more than deflecting. It appears that, it's gaslighting in one of its forms. It's saying, oh, no, don't look over here, telling us that we're the problem. We're where it originated.
Yeah, it's good to see you too, Jackie. This is clearly gaslighting, right? And it's a deflection. So they actually came out and said that the U.S. should act in a transparent and responsible way, right? As if anyone in the world believes that the coronavirus came from an American lab. So this is what communists do, right? They go on offense, they blame everybody else, and they say, hey, don't look at our lab where it probably came from. If anything, it came from the United States or a wet market that was right next to the lab where we studied coronaviruses. So I'm sick of communists lying and cheating. And just by the way, Jackie, we should take note of this. This is what happens when you shut down free speech. Mm-hmm. This is what happens when you implement communism. You get the state version of facts, and that's what the country is forced into, as opposed to in America where we still have free debate and dialogue, or we did before the coronavirus came into effect.
That's
and
right.
That debate was shut down by big tech.
And there are people in this country, who need to wake up and open their eyes and look at what's happening here and sort of rethink the direction that we are going. I just want to read this, though, to your point, from an op-ed in the Wall Street Journal regarding China specifically and their approach to this issue, if you will. Quote, no one should expect the Chinese Communist Party to cooperate with a real inquiry into the origins of COVID-19. More disappointing is the lack of candor from American scientists and officials whose conflicts of interest deserve more scrutiny. Your thoughts?
Well, 100%. So Peter Daszak was from EcoHealth Alliance, who was part of the funding of gain-of-function research, which is research on these very dangerous viruses. And he was sent in the initial envoy to do the first investigation. He was completely compromised and had a viewpoint that he didn't want the lab leak theory to come out. So yeah, I mean, American scientists, I think, have been part of the problem. I think Dr. Fauci has been part of the problem. But also, China's unwilling to get to the truth of where the virus came from. And if you care about the health of the world, if you make a mistake, we might be angry about it, but that's okay. We just don't want it to happen again. I mean, you have millions of people around the globe that have died. Let's find out what went wrong so we can implement procedures so it doesn't happen again.
Absolutely. There's a learning lesson no matter where this came from. But this is really interesting because to your point about the conflicts with the scientists and Dr. Fauci specifically, I want you to watch Dr. Fauci in 2013 say, don't be restrictive with scientists. And in 2018, talk about lifting the ban on funding superviruses. Watch this.
You have to have some restrictions in the sense of you don't do work that could actually hurt people, in the sense of if you have a laboratory accident, you have to have the right containment. Once you start being too restrictive, you then impede creativity for so many of the good things that could come out of the same type of work.
So let me just go on about NIH lifts funding pause on gain-of-function research. So a framework has been now established to guide funding decisions on proposed research that might be anticipated to create, transfer, or use enhanced potential pandemic pathogens.
Sean, what do you think of America's beloved doctor?
I got to tell you, it makes me so angry to watch that, Jackie. That Dr. Fauci still has a job is outrageous. Donald Trump should have fired him. If not, Joe Biden should have fired him. But not only does he still have a job, he's still making recommendations to the American people on how we should deal with this pandemic and the Delta variant. So this guy is out of control. He's been wrong on so many things. On the Fox News Network, Peter Navarro 4 months ago said Dr. Fauci is the father of the coronavirus, and he got a lot of blowback for that. And as we watch these videos, as they come to light, we see that Dr. Fauci has been at the center of so much of this bad science and bad funding of gain-of-function research, which I think in the end we're going to learn that that's how we got the coronavirus and the pandemic.
It's really, I mean, it's mind-blowing when you think about what happened here. And it's also just crazy to think about the fact that we've got an administration that's not going to push back against China to get to the bottom of it. Sean Duffy.
Can I make one other point, Jackie?
Please do.
Just one other point. If Biden is unwilling to go after the Chinese when they hack Microsoft, He's been soft on China for years. There's no way that Biden is going to pressure the Chinese to actually, give transparency and give access to the lab. We're going to make a few statements in the press, and this is going to slide away, and we're never going to know the truth about where it came from because Joe Biden is weak on China.
It's a huge issue, and obviously so much more to discuss. We'll have you back on again soon. Sean Duffy, thank you.
Jackie.